Hello everyone, welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports, and some breaking news in the United Rugby Championship. The news that we kind of thought was coming, and I'm very thankful that it is coming actually, because we haven't watched our South African teams play in the United Rugby Championship since all the way back in October. And with this past weekend's games being cancelled, as this weekend's games being called off as a result of the travelling teams, although Munster and Scarlets actually still remain in South Africa, it looked like the next time we were going to see our South African teams play in the URC was going to be in January, and even that's a little bit up in the air because a lot of those teams were expecting to have travelled for those games. However, it has now been confirmed that the round 12 fixtures, which are South African derbies, have been moved forward to this coming weekend. There will be a match on Friday night at 7 o'clock as well as Saturday at 5 o'clock, which we probably didn't want to see because I think we've had so many local derbies. I think the next time we were supposed to have them was in February, and that was going to be a nice break because the last time we saw a local derby between these two teams was September. So it has been about 2 months, but I think it would have been nice to have that 4-month break, played a lot more URC, and then say, right, Springboks are back, now we can get back into our local derbies. So it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but we have to be fluid in this situation. You have to be able to adapt at very short notice, at the flick of a coin. That you've got to be able to sort of sort things out and be able to make the best of the situation. But before we look at exactly what the sort of plan is and what this could mean for that stages of the competition, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. So a statement has literally just been released that's been confirmed that the derbies that were originally scheduled for February 2022 have been brought forward and will be played in Durban and Cape Town. The fixtures will be as follows. The Sharks will host the Bulls in Durban on Friday night. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock South African Standard Time. And the Stormers will host the Lions at the Cape Town Stadium on Saturday evening at 5 o'clock South African Standard Time. There's been no sort of communication about whether there'll be maybe more matches next weekend. South African teams weren't supposed to play next weekend, but you do sort of wonder maybe if they want to bring another round forward. And I think what's going to have to happen is, given the fact that the calendar is so congested, you kind of wonder if they won't have to have a round or two of URC clashes during the Six Nations involving European sides. Now, the entire calendar was supposedly set out so that there would never be URC action during the international calendar. And as a result, all teams were always going to have the internationals available, and so in theory be at full strength while maybe resting a few players, etc., etc. So they weren't supposed to play during the Six Nations because that was when the South African derby was going to take place. Whilst you remember that there was that week that we didn't play, and I think there's rugby throughout December where the South African teams aren't playing. Now, for me, you kind of probably have to bite the bullet and just say to the likes of Munster, Scarlet, Zebra, and just say, listen, you're going to have to play those matches without your international because we need to find times for those matches because it's a very limited calendar, especially when you start adding, European Challenge Cup, the Champions Cup, and stuff like that, which all starts very soon as well. I think personally it's good to see that we will have rugby this weekend. The South African sides will be back in action. You've got to be able to play, and they've had some time off. They're going to be feeling refreshed, and I think they were targeting, probably all the teams will probably be targeting 2 very big games at the back end of 2021 before taking another sort of 2-3 week break and then really giving it a go in the beginning of 2022. So things did not pan out the way we wanted it. Now we have to try and sort of make a plan. And personally, I can get over it. I can get excited for 2 South African derbies this weekend, even if that's the only rugby we get in December, because it's going to be a long December of no South African rugby, although we've got Blitzboks playing this weekend as well in Dubai. But there still will be URC action. I think there's URC action on the 24th of December. I think there's Boxing Day action. So you will have lots of rugby still to watch. European Champions Cup and stuff, or continues as to the top 14 and the Premiership. So there's still plenty of rugby to watch, but not for our South African teams. So I think it'll be nice for them to at least have one game now and they can just sort of get back onto the park, play a little bit. And so it's not this sort of... Because otherwise there would have been a break from October to January. And, you're looking at over sort of almost 3 months, basically. You don't really want to go 3 months without playing whilst your opponents are playing pretty regularly and they're going to be match fit and they're going to sort of have gelled and be in very good spaces. And you don't want to kind of sort of have to restart your season every so often, which is kind of what's had to happen with a lot of these South African sides. So I personally think it's a good thing. I know it's not what we want, and I think that a lot of South Africans are saying they're sick of SA derbies. And that's fair, because we've had to have so many of them. But it's nobody's fault at the end of the day. It's just the situation and the current, the world we live in. And I'm hoping that, someone was even calling out the countries that add South Africa to the red list and saying that there's no justification to suddenly ban travellers from the country. Hopefully, we will be able to get back to sort of normal URC action. Hopefully in January, when I think Lion's supposed to go over to Leinster, and there's supposed to be a lot more travelling. I think Stormers are due in Italy, and hopefully we can do that in January. But time will have to tell. Until then, get ready for 2 big South African clashes this weekend in Cape Town, in Durban. The weather's been pretty miserable across South Africa over the last week or two, so it could make for some very challenging conditions. A couple of players will be back in action as well from the box squad, but not so the bulk of the starters. So please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.